live. It's Monday. Yes, Man Crush Monday. Love it. Love it, Joel. How are you? How was your weekend? Stop it.
I'm
Stop it.
so tired of you. My weekend was wonderful.
Don't be jealous because I get Man Crush Monday and you don't get nothing.
I tell you, still advocating for Food Crush Mondays. But remember, you can watch us on One Spot Media. Don't interrupt.
I'm
with
sorry.
your show.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Remember to watch us on onespotmedia.com or you can catch snippets of the program at www.televisionjamaica.com. And guess what? We're also on YouTube.
Yes.
So for all you lazy people, just go on YouTube and you can find some
aren't
episodes.
lazy. They're not lazy.
Trust me, people are really
You're
lazy.
making choices and you're making great choices, okay? Yes.
But yes, you know, what's buzzing. Kind of little bit of sad news as well. You know, Captain Horace Burrell took his last breath. It's a huge blow to a lot of people because for one, I did not even know that he was ill.
Yeah.
I was on Twitter scrolling and I saw, you know, the tweet coming in from the Gleaner saying Captain Horace Burrell is dead, and I'm like, wait.
And then
it picked up like wildfire after that. But you know, it's important that when you die, there's some sort of legacy to it.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, this man has proven so many things. He served, he's regarded as a very strong leader because he was a captain in the Jamaica Defense Force, you know, elected to the Jamaica Football Federation as president in 1994. And he has done, you know, a lot of work where that is concerned. He was so instrumental in the World Cup qualifying in France.
Yes.
So a whole lot of work, you know, some people took it a little bit hard. For example, Prime Minister Holness, and he and Butch Stewart were really, really good friends.
Yeah.
So, you know.
We're sad to see you go.
But the legacy will
sad
continue to live on. That's the most important part.
I hear that. And speaking of,
where's she going now?
we're talking about Trinidad and Tobago and what happened with the whole pat down issue.
Yes.
And you know, the letter was written to say that we shouldn't. How dare? Because her name,
Ayanna Webster Roy. She's the minister in the office of the Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
And what happened was she was in Jamaica for a regional forum.
Yes.
Celebrating United Nations doing something as it relates to ending AIDS awareness.
Yes.
Ending AIDS. Yeah. And they had that parliamentary something in Jamaica. And what happened was that she was departing because there's so many things that in the parliament meeting.
Yes, I understand.
And she was departing, and an airline, the private security personnel for the airline, for the international airline.
But basically, she was patted down. So as she was leaving, they patted her down.
But people just hear
so everybody were like, "Excuse me, how dare you?" Because she's, a government minister, and that's not supposed to happen. So what we're saying here is that it's nothing to do with us necessarily.
Definitely
it's a company that was hired by the airline security, and that is their screening process.
So what happens is that they normally have like a random selection.
So a name pops up, and they're like, "Okay, this person," just to make sure everything is fair and just. However, there's a lot of persons that had kicked up and said, you know, there was a thing in the past between Trinidad and Jamaica, and that kind of boycott and whatever. So they're saying, Jamaica is saying it wasn't deliberate.
Yes, and I'm happy.
And Trinidad is also saying, you know, we're looking into it. We have nothing to say at this time. We understand that certain protocols were met and upheld, and so it's don't boycott. Is what they're saying.
I'm just happy that Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith was very quick.
She was.
In declaring that this has nothing to do with us. However, she was really diplomatic in dealing with it because she's saying, you know, they're still going to look into the matter. But at the same time, it's just the airline procedures. So you can't really argue against that. But I mean, just take a check and go.
Because it's happened to many other persons as well. Around the world that's been traveling in the US.
Yes.
In India, it happened as well to a government minister over there. So it's not something that, because people love to say that Jamaica slack or whatever. It's happened here. It's happened elsewhere as well. It's like, it happens. It's something that happens. So
it's whatever to me. We and Trinidad always have issues.
No, we love Trinidad.
Speaking of, you know, issues, there's no cash plus payout for the investors. That's another little mess, you know, because this thing has been going on for so long.
So long.
Yes, you know, the man who, you know, who headed the failed Ponzi scheme, as it's regarded as, you know, sort of got off the other day.
Yeah.
But the story to that, you know, the Office of Director, DPP office released a statement where they're saying the depositors might have breached the law.
Oh, really?
As it relates to the money lending act of Jamaica, where they had some procedures that are usually in place.
So when you say depositors, you mean us? You mean people who would say, here's my money, invest it for me? You're saying we're they're wrong and they lose the whole house, car, land, everything.
Based on how it was set up, based on how how it was phrased, that's why it's important for people to read over contracts and understand what exactly they're signing to. Because the investigation is now, there's deep investigation and all of that. So things are now coming out. So there's a stronger possibility that there ain't no money for you.
Yeah.
If you had invested in it. So it's a whole lot of things going on where that is concerned.
These pyramid scheme things, these kind of schemes, stay away. Anything that my mommy say, if it don't work hard to get it, it's not worth having. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
But Munga, the fact that he on Friday, the whole hearing and everything.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a correlation. Would you say there's a correlation right now between dancehall, hip hop, and violence? It seems that a lot of them are in jail right now.
Honestly.
So George Nooks, Vibes Cartel,
all of them.
Busy. We know Bujo.
But the thing is, you see where that is concerned, because that's forever going to be a huge discourse. Those violence. Violence in music doesn't really influence the actualities of it. And I think I don't really have much to say where that is concerned. However, what I have to say is, it's not only happening in Jamaica.
Right.
Gucci Mane, Lil Wayne, all of them over there in the United States who are in
but
the entertainment industry.
Too, so they're part of the hip hop industry.
I know and I understand that, but it's also not only within the entertainment industry. It's not only the artists. Martha Stewart went to jail.
Yes, but Martha Stewart went to jail for fraud, not violence. So
still
it's
jail
different.
time, but it's still under the entertainment thing.
Yes.
But I mean, you asked a really pertinent question as it relates to the correlation. I'm not sure if there is one. I just feel that people listen to dancehall music and they don't act on it, and you have people who listen to it and might have acted on it or become influenced by it of some sort.
But I hear that, and I don't, as much as I don't have statistics to prove that there is a correlation, it seems to me that as a society, when you, not even globally, when you seem to be more influenced by a certain kind of music, your behavior will change or be influenced in a certain way, because you know that music entertainment has a big impact on society and how people behave. So that's what you have in London, these young white boys, and they're like, in it, I'm because they listen to hip hop.
I just feel like there's no, the whole proof of it though.
There's no proof, so no one's coming to me. I don't know.
I just feel that people need to, whatever field it is that you're excelling in, just chill, collect your money, continue to do what you're doing, and try not to get involved. Because it's also disappointing when you have younger people who might look up to some of these artists, as possible influencers, because they want to enter into the same field, and it's not a good look when it becomes saturated with everybody pretty much going to jail or something. So it's not a good look.
No thug life here.
Yeah, absolutely no. But we have a lot more buzzing in Daytime Buzz, but we're going to take a short break. Remember, #TVJDTL and follow us right now at TVJ_Daytime Live. We'll be right back.
The fingers, the Joe fingers.